need to find this place or we'll be late.
Make a left on Astrology Avenue. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant right. It should be right here at 444 Spearway. Oh, turn!
It looks like Renee. Yay, we're on time.
The James and Kelly Show.
Great, let's start the show.
Hi, James.
Hi, Kelly. Turn right, turn left. Who knows now? It's like Tilt-A-Whirl land. We go around and
Exactly.
around.
Well, it sure has been, hasn't
It feels very crazy. It feels like spinning top world, doesn't it?
Yeah, it has been. I know.
Great. How have you been, Kelly?
I processing a lot.
Processing a lot.
I would say I've been processing a lot. Yeah.
Yes.
I had a lot of people pass away in the last 2-3 weeks. A lot.
So what do you think that's about? Astrologically, it's transformation time.
It's transformation time. We're letting go of winter, if you will, and moving into spring. Although where I live, it's still winter. We had a snowstorm we had this big blizzard on Saturday. And so what made it so good for me to stay home and process is we had a big blizzard. That's a better thing to do than that, right? Think about everybody you've lost. And I had a lot of families I had to work with over the weekend because they lost. There's so many people that, that I know that have had great loss.
It's amazing.
It's a strange time, right?
Yeah, very, very, very weird time. I don't know. The older I get, the more I feel like I don't belong in this place. I'm like, I don't recognize this earth anymore.
I know. Well, I'll tell you something. That's so true. I have to tell you the funniest story, James. I know that we're doing past life regression, right, tonight. So I was watching this show and it made me think of, in our lifetimes, how many past lives in this lifetime have we had? Like, how many versions of yourself has there been, right? If you look like that. So I was watching a show, and I don't know if you've heard of this yet, or if anybody else out there would be curious to see if they're watching this. It's called Daisy and the Six. Have you heard of this on Amazon Prime? Daisy and the Six.
Okay.
All right, I need to know who else is watching this show. Daisy and the Six. Because what it's about, it takes place in the 70s. It takes place with a band in the 70s, Sunset Boulevard, Laurel Canyon. And I actually lived at that period of time right in that area, went to all the clubs. I was a cocktail waitress. And I forgot
Joni Mitchell and Neil Young.
the whole thing.
In that area.
Oh,
right.
my gosh. And I'd gone. In fact, Dawn had played at all of those clubs too. I mean, it was the wildest thing. So I'm watching this show, Daisy and the Six. And I'm like, why does this feel so familiar to me? And then I remembered it was a previous life in this lifetime. You could go back and look at your life, right? And see how many lives you've actually lived in one lifetime.
Yeah. When you said that, Kelly, you reminded me of holding a deck of cards and spreading them out.
Yeah.
It's like, we definitely do that. And it's very interesting. We talked about something yesterday. I forget about the parallel lives. And, you can have several lives, right? Renee and I talked about this afternoon after soul care about how many lives you have actually have and this soul has in this lifetime. So many different ones, parallel lives right now, because time is irrelevant outside this dimension. So we can be living all different lives right now continuously at this moment.
Isn't that interesting that we can do that?
Not too much and we go there, but
all right.
So hi to everyone. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Susan from Boston. Dawn.
Hi, Talina.
Reminds me of Most Famous, the movie. Yes, that's Almost Famous.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Hi, Michael from San Francisco. Hi, Berna.
A lot of new people too. Thank you very much, live people.
Yes. Hi, Patricia. A lot of new people.
RK, thank you. Thank you very much for spreading the word about past life regression tonight. A lot of new people want to tell other people about tonight's show.
Oh, I'm so excited. It's going to be a fascinating conversation that we're going to have about this too.
Yes. Wow. Elvis's grandmother played lead. Well, it's been so fast.
Yeah, Elvis's granddaughter plays the lead, Daisy. She's really good too.
I have a friend who Roberta, who knew Elvis.
Oh.
Used to hang out at Elvis's house up in the hills. Yeah,
wow.
And the Cadillac and the whole thing. She's good friends with Priscilla, and they used to hang out at his house. And used to, on Sunday nights, watch TV on the couch. She used to have a group of people there hanging out, not doing anything but just watching TV, nothing else. No drinking or drugging or anything like that, but just not like those other places where Jimi Hendrix was and Laurel Canyon and the Doors, and because that was really a wild place in the 70s.
Really a wild place.
Early 60s, early 70s, I guess.
Right.
And
And
you lived where, Kelly? Didn't you
I
live?
lived right off. I lived in Toluca Lake, but then later on, I lived off of Laurel Canyon, literally Laurel Canyon. So I would just hop right on over to Sunset and worked at some of the clubs actually that they're talking about on the show.
This is very weird. When I first moved to Los Angeles back in '82, right?
Okay,
82,
now
I
way
remember
before then, even
in
yeah.
'82, and I used to drive. I didn't know LA at all. I had no clue of LA. I'd never been there. I used the Thomas Guide maps. Remember the Thomas
Of course,
Guide?
the Thomas Guide.
And I got a job as a production assistant coming from the Studio City, that's called the Valley, everybody's saying,
Right.
to the other side over the hill and to LA. And that would be Laurel Canyon or Coldwater Canyon were the two ways I'd go. So I must have gone to Laurel Canyon up and down about 5 times that day.
So you know exactly when you see the show, you'll know exactly what's going on.
But I used to drive through there, and I was before the psychic thing with me that I was involved in that. But I used to pick up with now I realize I was picking up things left and right. And I picked up I picked up a lot of pot around here, and I picked up like all these folk things around. And I'm like, of course, now that's
right.
Weird. So how are we doing astrologically? I know what I'm doing psychologically. I know how I'm doing, but how is astrologically?
Oh my God. So let's talk about astrology. Tonight is a really important night, James. Tonight, actually, we have a really rare alignment. So we have 5 planets that you're going to be able to see with the naked eye outside if you have a clear night. So this is a really rare alignment because it's Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Uranus. And what makes it so rare is that Uranus is never seen by your eye, and you can see it today. So today's
together, Kelly, like close by.
They're really close by. In fact, there's a conjunction. There'll be 2 conjunctions. One's tomorrow, and one's a couple days from then. A conjunction is when they're right next to each other. Mm-hmm. So it's this is such a rare planetary alignment in our solar system.
What would be the brightest? You look at the planets. What would be the brightest tonight?
Probably Mercury and Jupiter.
Mercury and Jupiter. Yeah. Jupiter. Yeah, Mercury.
And Jupiter is so large, but they're all going to be very bright tonight. So really, tonight is what makes this so special. Is aside from the alignment, is it puts out this, because the planets are so clear, it makes things clear in your life. So today would be a great day and I know it's a little late, but today and tomorrow, it might be a great day to clear out your personal space, your office, your home, spring cleaning. Absolutely, because it's a real shift in the energy today. Today and tomorrow, it brings out a high vibrational energy. So perhaps you might want to do like open up your windows. Like I can't where I live; it's just too damn cold. But open up your windows. Maybe light some candles. Another thing, James, you can do if there's any negativity in your home, you can dissolve salt in a bowl with water and place that in different spots in the house, and that might help.
Would it be the different corners in the room?
Different corners in the room. Maybe place some crystals around the house too. So
what I do is I wrote about this in my books. What I tend to do to cleanse a house.
Yes,
it depends. I mean, it's different methods. But something I love doing is I always put a bowl of salt water at the front door, and I go if I have an upstairs, I'll start in the upstairs room, and I make a sweeping motion through the room toward the door of that room down, and if it's a hallway, in the hallway, go through each room. If I steps down the steps of the front door and move everything to the front door, and just you can either sing, you play music, and just have that ritual and get all that energy just go into that water in the front door, and then I take that bowl afterwards. And I will go to the street and I just dump it down and say, you go who you need to believe. And I don't know, but maybe it's here, but it really does work for me.
No, it's really good. It's cleansing the space. It's a great idea. And today and tomorrow is a great day for that. I'm so glad that you said to do that. That's so important. And tomorrow is a really interesting day too, because tomorrow is an 11 day. So an 11 day makes things more intense probably. And tomorrow, Jupiter conjuncts Mercury. So that means that they'll be like 1 degree apart, actually. So today and tomorrow, really close conjunctions, particularly tomorrow. But tomorrow, it's in Vedic astrology, it's in a really good celestial house. It's called a nakshatra. And this special house for tomorrow brings prosperity and growth and vitality. And James, if you're going to be going on a new journey, tomorrow's a great day for that. So tomorrow is a good day for it brings positive aspects.
Hold on 1 second. I just want to stay silent for that moment that you said tomorrow's going to be a good day, because I've heard that in so many months.
I know it's just probably just tomorrow. But my God. And
So,
we'll talk
Kelly, you
about,
mentioned Mercury and Jupiter are close together there.
yeah.
What does that mean? You said it's just a
It
new
means that it would bring out
opportunity.
Jupiter's, well, opportunities and in communication
Yeah,
and in travel. So tomorrow actually is a really good day to travel.
good.
And it just should bring out some, like, it's a good day to start something new. So tomorrow, it brings out for you. I know you'll be doing some traveling. It'll be
I'm
a good day
traveling. Yeah.
for that.
Just quickly, Kelly, someone let me. This does have to be sea salt. No, it doesn't matter if it's sea salt.
No,
It has to be
just
sea salt.
any kind of salt. And then I know on Wednesday you're going to be doing this meditation.
Doing a global meditation Wednesday, and it's
Okay.
on my website, vanpraagh.com, and it's going to be a worldwide global meditation. And it's really it's really to open up the space and energetically, because we've had a lot of weird stuff going on. So I thought that would be interesting to have people. Now we can do it on it'll be on Facebook. It'll be on Facebook. And you'll find a link on that too. You have to log in to get a space there. It's free, and it's just really going to set the intentions. Spirits already come to me for this, which is interesting. A few days before, they've already lined up around me for this. So they're very interesting, and
I'm looking forward to it.
level beings, which I thought was very interesting. They were pink, from the pink ray. They always refer to themselves from the different rays of light. There's a pink ray, the starlit ray, crimson ray, and there's a violet ray. And that's how they.
So those are high vibrations.
I would, yes, they are. Yes, they are. Definitely, they are. It's just, and I always get that sense that whenever we go to that higher levels, as ascension or whatever you'd like to call it, there's always that highest frequency. And I think when they come down to this three-dimensional world, the density of it, I always feel like, God, they're really trying to get that high light down to this heavy, dense, energy down here. Not easy, but love conquers all. So it's they come in love. Love cracks through.
Yeah. Oh, I'm looking forward to that on Wednesday.
I heard that expression once years ago. I put it on my website once, and it was the hardest to crack occasionally to let the love out, to let the light out. Has to crack open to let the light out. So sometimes we're going through grief, hard times. The heart's got to crack a little bit to let the light out. Yeah. Have you heard that before?
I have. I love it.
Good one.
Yeah. That's a good one. Okay. Wow. So
go to vanpraagh.com if you're interested in the Wednesday event, and it should be on there. It should be on Wednesday. So Wednesday at 4:00 Pacific time.
Okay.
Yeah. So tonight we're going to talk about past life regression. And Kelly, have you had any past life? Well, let's say for the first, have you had past life experiences? I'm sure.
Have I?
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking me? Oh, yes.
What have yours been like?
So I started doing yoga about 25 years ago. And when I started doing yoga, from the positions in yoga, because the Kundalini energy is up and down your spine, it's running your life force. I'd go into certain positions, and all of a sudden I'd have these memories of past lives that just came out, and I could see and feel everything about a past life. So a lot of my past lives had to do with my siblings.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, a lot of them, and I could see why we were together, and I could experience what we come to do here in this life. So I've had quite a number of past life experiences.
And you can have past life. You can have different ways. Everybody, you can open up in a different way. For instance, I was once going with a friend driving cross country from Florida to California. Never been that way before, and we stopped in New Orleans, and I was able to tell exactly what streets we're on, where a certain church was located. I had complete memories, not remembering what I have, but I did. And then I was in France and Paris, and it's so funny because I remember when I was with Brian, my ex, I remember that there was two past life experiences with him. One I knew was I was a French woman of the night, and I was writing a book, I think it was Healing Grief, for him in Paris at the time. And I had this flash and I knew it. Brian was a soldier in the war. I don't know what years these were. And I knew that he would come into Paris to see me because I remember this skirts and the whole thing. And I was always afraid I was falling in love with him, but I couldn't tell him because he was a client. But I remember there was a balcony that I would go and look and say goodbye to him as he drove right away on his horse. And I remember when I was writing book, when I was just in Paris a while ago, and I was writing my last book, and I'm sitting there writing. And I looked, and there's a balcony with the double doors. And again, it reminded me of that exact experience. And I felt exactly that was where it was.
My God.
And then another time I was with him, and I felt like there was we're going in the steps, and he was before me, and there was a bald spot. And I said, "Oh my God, we were monks together." And there's another one. Here's when we did past life regression, and with Dr. Brian Weiss, who's number one in the world, I think, past life regression. And we did many years, 12 years we worked together. And we're on a ship, and an exercise he had us do was to look at each other's faces. He had the whole group just take a moment to look at each other's faces. And he walked us to the space. And you watch how the face might change to another lifetime. And I kept on looking at Brian's face, and he changed it to a Tibetan monk. And I was like, wow. And afterwards, Brian Weiss said, well, okay, share with each other what you received. And then Brian said, well, I didn't really see anything about you, but I saw you as a Tibetan monk. I said, I saw you as a Tibetan monk.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And then, you'll meet people also in life. Everyone's met people that you feel like you've known each other before. You've felt that connection with someone.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
I had a friend named Katie who I met her, and it was like, well, you met Katie. You knew Katie.
Right.
I felt like we'd known each other right away. It was like instant. You feel
That's
like
true.
Connection. Yeah.
Wow.
Or places, people.
Yeah. People had asked me, James, how do you know if you need a past life regression? People have asked me that. What are your thoughts on that?
So I again, if from Brian Weiss, because I worked with him, he talks a lot about there are certain fears that people carry into life at various lifetimes that come from past life into this lifetime, and it's a good way to acknowledge what that caused that original trauma in the soul. There's a soul memory. And it holds on to those memories, and there's traumas that it can hold on to through lifetimes of the soul memory. I remember when I was afraid of water, very afraid of water. So I was like 13, 14 years old, and I wouldn't go near it. And I had a dream once that I was in a merchant ship, and I was a galley slave. And I remember there was a tidal waves went, and we all died there. I remember that we were chained together. So I think when it's phobias, irrational fears about things, it certainly does help. Yeah. Certain relationships with people, you wonder, like you had with your family, certain things going on. You might wonder what's going on with them. Yeah. So in the regressions that I do, I will bring in people from this lifetime, and just let your soul go for it. Some people think, is it my imagination? Good, let it be your imagination, whatever you want to call it. You can just let go and let your soul show you or demonstrate to you what's going on to happen.
I've heard, James, that the past lives are held in the root chakra.
I've never heard that. Could be. I don't know. I've never
where
heard
fear and trauma are, Fear
and trauma could be. I could think it's many chakras. I mean, the heart chakra certainly has the seat of the soul there. It depends on the lifetime too, Kelly.
Yeah. So it definitely would.
Enslaved or need survival stuff would be that first chakra. So it depends on the conditions of that other lifetime.
Well, you make a good point, because actually in the heart chakra, if you were in love with somebody, that would be a big heart chakra one.
Those lessons for the heart chakra.
Yeah.
I'm just doing it's very interesting. I'm just filming, as we're speaking, a meditation course, my next course of the school, and it's an in-depth meditation course. And I just finished talking about the chakra points and the adrenals, the endocrine system that associate each gland that's associated with the chakra point. And I go through the positives and negatives, that open, the close. It's so interesting how much those energy points hold on to and are really responsible for moving that life force through us. And I mean, it's just so interactive, and not many people know that, and they don't realize how interactive energy is within our bodies. And our space, and that we're so much more than just this. This is just a small part of their soul. And if only realize that we're so much more than just this. This is just a jumping off point. It's 30% of the soul is here, 70 is out here. So it's really, but I have to say.
Wow. Okay.
So any questions before we begin? Anybody have any questions about this regression, or is this, I don't know.
Lisa Vandermeer says, can you explain parallel lives?
Well, Kelly and I were talking about that before too, and I was talking about today in soul care. To a point, I'm not a quantum physicist, but I do believe that there are many lifetimes possibly going on right now as we're speaking. They're fragments of the soul. Let's say part of your soul is over here in the future, but the future is, or the past, or at the same time. All happening at the same time. And I've heard, Kelly, I don't know if you've heard this, but your actions now in the physical in the human part of us, but who knows till we pass on, that this part, what you do here, your thoughts, your words, can affect the past and can affect the future.
Yes.
You heard that.
Yes. Yeah. Because there's no such thing as time.
There's no such thing as time. So you're given this opportunity to change things up. You're given this opportunity to make things better by the way you live this life. Right. Or you can make things worse by the way you live this life.
Right. Exactly right.
Yeah. And it's not only this lifetime's going to be affected, but past lives.
So Sue Ann Morris, if you are totally petrified of certain things, fire and guns, with no reason, why would this indicate a past life death? Very curious. I'm totally petrified of these. Absolutely.
Yeah. So obviously, Sue Ann, there's definitely a soul memory that were either killed, obviously, that way on fire and with guns. It could be several different lifetimes that could have happened. And many people are afraid of heights because they were thrown off mountains and sacrificed. Many people were afraid of doing this type of spiritual work because they were killed in a past life of a certain belief system, or they were witches, or I was stoned to death. I mean, I was crushed. With the stones, I'm crushed, crushed that way.
I'm quite certain I've been there.
Oh
my God. And what about fathom? I mean, when you're starvation.
Sure. I think we live all of these diseases, traumas, situations in this human life. We have to experience everything in that wheel, everything we can to understand the condition. I think we go through all of that and to understand from another person's point of view. I know one thing that, they talk about, if you're very judgmental, and let's say there's a certain ethnic group that you're very judgmental about. Let's say Mexican people, because I live here and all my friends are Mexican. But if someone puts them down and judges them and treats them badly and talks bad of them, and even like now, trans people or gay people, whatever it might be, whatever group you pick up, and you're bad to them, you say negative things, you're going to come back and you're going to be in that group.
Right.
Rest assured that you'll have to have the other flip side of the coin, and you will have to find out what you did. That's karma. That's
Right. Kim Ann, I have to answer this question, James. She said, would this alignment have anything to do with the shooting in Nashville? So I don't know if it's this alignment, Kim Ann, that had to do with the shooting in Nashville, but I can say that Mars is out of bounds. And I've been saying that for some time. It's out of bounds until May 5th. And when Mars is out of bounds, everything's out of control. So I think that had a lot to do with it, Kim Ann.
It does feel like that. And if people aren't properly grounded or centered or know who they are, they'll go out of limits. They'll just go wild, the aggressive. And Mars is at battles, confrontations, and fire and aggressiveness, and that's what guns. Mm-hmm. And that will within that soul, if there is that aspect to them. Thank you, Belinda, the lady.
Love her.
Yeah, she's saying if that is within that soul's makeup, that what you saying, affect that affinity or that the makeup that could be fired on, that could be opened up, that could be activated. Activated in that soul, and they could act out. Isn't that interesting?
Very. Wow. Okay.
So what's going to happen is it good for finding out about? Well, it's good to find out about past lives if you're having trouble in this future life or this current life, trying to figure out what's going on in this relationship I'm in, what's going on with this some fears I have, certain family members are going with myself, why don't I believe in myself, whatever it might be. It could be stemming from another past life experience that you've past life. It could, not everything, but it could well be. This most important thing to know is that the soul can never be harmed. So whether it's suicide or heart attack or plane crash or whatever it might be, it can't be harmed. The soul can't die. There's no death. And that's something to know that. And when we do this aggression, it's just bringing it back to your true self, your soul self. And your soul will tell you things. Your soul will reveal things to you because you go, really, I'm going to take you to a space where I walk you from your head to your heart. And the seat of the soul is tucked neatly behind the heart. My book, To Reach the Heaven, I wrote about a whole thing about the seat of the soul, which contains all the memories we have. So I'm welcome to your space, and we're just going to suggest, to you, because I'm not a hypnotist, it's just bringing to a certain space or a certain level of consciousness, right? And Kelly, someone asked about trance today in my soul care, and I thought about you, the level of consciousness that you go under when in trance, because there's up and then there's down, right? Yes. Would that be theta?
It would be theta. You want to get to that place of theta.
So this will be kind of an in between, and I'm going to just suggest certain spaces, and you'll hear my voice change, and obviously be helped by many beings around me. So if you've never done this before, it's easy, and there's nothing to it. You're just going to relax, basically, and just let your soul reveal. And I'm probably going to turn my camera off from myself, and if that's okay, if I can do that. Or maybe I won't. I don't know how to do that. That's okay.
I don't either, James. I was going to ask you.
So, the best thing to do is just wherever you are, you can sit in your chair. Just gently close your eyes wherever you are, and you can even lie down. If you can turn your computer up and you want to lie down with a pillow, that's fine. It's just letting you relax. Is giving you a sense a little bit of relaxation. And it's almost, people have said that doing this like 20 minutes is like a full night's sleep. So it's just letting yourself rest. Yeah. And I'm going to play some music behind my voice, so you'll be able to really nicely relax. And I'm just going to guide you. So wherever you are, just gently close your eyes. And as you close your eyes to the outside world, you open up the inner world of light, remembering that you indeed are a soul. You are a beautiful light. You are energy. And just to help us to relax even more, we use the breath. For the breath is a gift from God. It sustains our life. The breath of life. So as you gently close your eyes, listen to my voice. Be aware that all around us is a beautiful light, of white golden light. Everywhere we are, in the middle of this beautiful golden white light, this wave of light. And out of that light, imagine, let yourself imagine, is a string, a cord of this golden white light that touches the very top of your head. And as you breathe and inhale, you breathe in this beautiful cord of golden light. And this golden cord of light has magical properties. It immediately assists us in relaxation, in balance, in peace of mind. It helps with our stillness of being. So as we sit there now, imagine this beautiful golden white cord of light touches the top of your head, and feel the warmth, feel the energy. And as we breathe in, we're going to now inhale through our nose, and that beautiful golden white light, imagine that coming in through your body, this beautiful space of the body, the vessel of your soul, and let that beautiful light bathe all through you, surrounding every cell, every muscle, every bone, every organ, every fiber of your being is permeated with this beautiful, magical golden light. And as we exhale out of the mouth, we set the intention that with each exhalation, we will let go, we will release any stress, any troubles, any imbalances in the body, the mind, the emotional body, the mental body, the spiritual body, and let it go out into the universe, the ethers, to where it belongs, and replace it with this lovely golden white light. This golden white light is love that holds the entire universe, says all together, love is all within us and around us. Let's remind ourselves as we take in this beautiful golden white breath, and inhale and ride that breath all the way down to your toes and beyond, and exhale and let it go, let it go, let it go. Good. And again, and inhale all the way down. Good. Just surrounding every cell, every organ, every fiber of your being, and exhale. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Good. And again, beautiful golden light. Inhale, illuminating every part of the inside of our being. And inhale, yes. And exhale. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Good. And one more time. And inhale. Good. Feel that beautiful energy. And exhale. And let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Good. And just now, letting yourself, your breath, move naturally into the body and out of the body at its natural rhythm, its natural pace. just feeling lighter with each inhalation, feeling a sense of happiness and joy and love as you bring in that breath and ride that breath. And imagine now, as you still remain feel this beautiful breath going in and out, that you're floating on a bed of clouds with this golden light all around you. With each breath in and with each exhalation out, you're floating higher and higher, supported completely and beautifully by the universe. And all around you are beings of light, whatever forms they take. But feel the love of the universe, the source of all, that God light, that white light, whatever that may be for you, that your soul attaches to. Your soul is part of that beautiful source light. Breathing in and breathing out. And soon your soul, in this lovely cloud, is directed now to a time and a space, a long time ago, perhaps in human time, quite a while, but your soul will direct you to a time and a space and a place that you need to discover for whatever reason. So as I count you down from 5 to 0, when I get to 0, you will be in this new space from the past, wherever your soul will bring you. So 5, beginning to feel a gentle movement going off to the left and going down. 4, gently going down to explore time and pages in the past. 3, feeling much lighter and happier, but also feeling a sense that there's a denser energy. 2, getting close to the earth now, becoming aware of the mists, the clouds, perhaps oceans, sun. 1, you become aware that you're on some place of land or sea, whatever it might be. And 0, you are there. And feel your feet on this land below you, or sea or desert, whatever it is, you're there. And look now at your feet and become aware of any perhaps footwear, if any, that you're wearing. Become aware of the ground. Become aware of the environment around you. What does it look like? Is it a city? Is it a jungle? Is it a desert? What kind of environment are you in? How do you feel that you are? Do you feel like you're a child, a woman, a man? And now start your gaze up toward, if you're wearing any clothing, if you are, what kind of clothing, if any? Are there bear skins, are there regular costumes? Is there a sense of time period that you're experiencing, remembering that your soul is drifting off to show you? And as you look around the space that you're in, become aware of maybe there might be some buildings or the time period that you're in. And the more you gaze around your environment, the more it becomes clear and focused into your mind of this space and time that your soul experienced a long time ago. Roughly become aware of the year, if there's a year, and become aware also of what are you doing in that lifetime? What is your job or your role or your position in that particular life? Do you have any responsibilities? What did you come back to learn in that lifetime? And as you're looking around and you're receiving information that your soul is giving you, there appears before you other beings, people coming toward you, whether it's in a village or in a jungle or in a city, doesn't matter, but there are other souls coming towards you, and you recognize them in some way. Those souls coming towards you have a connection with you. They're connected in this present life. What was their role in that lifetime? What did they have to teach you in that lifetime? What did you need to learn? Good. And now we're going to move a little bit forward to the end of that life. There's a time when the soul is going to leave that body in that lifetime. I want you now to envision the last day of your life when that earth at that time. Become aware of the scene of your death. Before the soul leaves the body, become aware of the room you're in. If you're in a room, what are your surroundings like? What do you feel? Who's in the room or the space with you? What is going on? I'm going to count again from 5 down to 0. And at 0, the soul will leave the body. So 5, becoming aware of everyone in the room, if anybody's in the room. 4, did you accomplish what you meant to in that life? 3, what's the reason you're leaving the body? What has happened? 2, feeling a sense of wanting to go, to leave. 1, you're out of the body. 0, you're above it. You're above the scene. No pain at all. No pain whatsoever. Feeling free and light and connected to everyone and everything, and feeling the joy. Feeling the joy of letting go of that heavy body, of being released. Good. Now you feel you're back in that cloud, floating around, back home again, if you will, into the center of that lovely golden light. That lovely golden light that never leaves us. That's our guiding light, our guiding star. It brings us forth. And now we're going to go to another lifetime that your soul would like to show you that is a meaningful lifetime for you. So 5, becoming aware that you're moving, your motion now seems to go faster and faster. 4, getting a feeling of a sensation of going through the mists, if you will, through time. 3, getting closer toward the earth, feeling the density, if you will. 2, becoming aware of the earth, this earth time, this space. 1, your feet touch the ground, and 0, you're there. Become aware first of your feet. Look down at your feet and become aware of what you're stepping on or where you are. Is it a cobblestone? Is it desert? Is it jungle? What does it look like? What is the environment like? Look at your feet. Are you wearing any footwear at all? And the clothing that you have, if any, bearskins or robes or period dress or costume. And start looking up at yourself. And then you look at the environment around you. And your soul remembers as you cast your eyes in the space all around you. Where are you? Where do you find yourself in this time period as you look around? Are there buildings, the jungle, valleys, country? Where do you think you are? Where do you think you speak a different language, different color, different race, different language, whatever it might be? And as you become aware of roughly that time period, that sense, you also become aware of people coming towards you, walking towards you, and they are also in that same kind of dress or that period of time. And you notice them, you recognize them as a soul group, but perhaps there are different roles in that lifetime. What roles do they play for you in that lifetime? What is your role in that lifetime? What is your position or your status, whatever it might be? What is that character you're playing in that lifetime? For all of these lives are merely plays, theater, if you will. So as you become aware of your role in that lifetime, become aware of all these people and what you have to do in that lifetime. What is your position that you have to do in that lifetime? Good. And now become aware now of the time toward the end of that life, when your life is fulfilled. It might be a long life or a short life. It doesn't matter. The soul knows no time. Soul knows no time whatsoever. So become aware now of the last day of that life. And where do you find yourself? What did you have to learn in that life? What did the others need to teach you and you need to learn? In the end of that soul's physical time, where do you find yourself? Do you find yourself alone or with people, in an infirmary, outside? What is your condition? And 5, becoming aware then that the light in this room is becoming dimmer, but there's another beautiful light far, far away. 4, you realize the end is near, but it's also a joyous time. 3, your soul begins to loosen up from the body, and you realize there's a journey to take. 2, getting ready to leave, final looking at the people, the room you're in. 2, getting out, and 1, leaving the body, moves freely and beautifully out of the body. 0, you're outside, floating above the body, feeling free and happy, for the natural state of the soul is love, is happiness, is freedom. You've come a long way. What have you learned in that lifetime? What are certain tests that you passed that you need to understand? Good. And take a deep breath in and exhale. Good. And slowly become aware of that breath again, breathing in and breathing out. The soul is pure, unconditional love. It's the human that makes the judgments, that human that brings in limitations to the soul. Let your mind be free. Let your mind expand to every star around you. You are connected to all. You are one. At this time as your soul, I want you now to connect with your current life, this current lifetime, in this particular life. And just see before you, and you floating that cloud, perhaps a movie, a screen. Become aware of those souls from the other lifetimes that are in this current lifetime and the roles that they play now. Become aware of any arguments or disagreements or fights that you've had with people and understand where that came from. Did you act the right way? Did you pass that test? How can you make your life, this current life, better in the future, in the tomorrows that you are given? Your soul has many opportunities in your tomorrows to make its journey much better. What do you need to do to make your tomorrows happier? Maybe forgive, maybe take the high road, maybe demonstrate love and forgiveness and kindness, maybe compassion. What is it that your soul needs to bring back to you now into your mind for you to use for your tomorrows? Divine Heavenly Parent, we ask a blessing on everyone here in this meeting. Dear spirit friends and guides, teachers and loved ones, we ask your love and we thank you very much for all the works that you do in the unseen world on our behalf. We open up our hearts and our minds to your truths. We thank you and bless you. And slowly become aware of your feet, again, in your body, your legs. Whether you're sitting down, feel your feet on the floor, or your legs lying there, let's feel the floor below you. Your backs, your lower back, your buttocks, your pelvic area, your stomach and chest, your shoulders. Begin to become aware of your arms and your hands, wiggling your fingers, your neck and your head, and slowly open up your eyes and be as one.
Wow, James. Wow. That was incredible. Really incredible. Really powerful. Wow. I went to a place that I didn't.
Where did you go, Kelly?
I'll tell you. I went to a place that was told the time period was 1650. It's not a place that I had ever actually thought of ever. And I know exactly what I was wearing, this old-fashioned type of an outfit, like very plain colored. And I was about 15, and I was to help people. They needed help with food and water. So what I learned in that lifetime was how to be kind. I'd never seen that before. And then I saw myself pass away young, about 15, with an illness. Yeah.
What about other people here on our site? What lesson, maybe about one word, like I said, kindness? Did someone learn to have compassion? What are some of the things Japanese warriors some saw themselves as? That's an interesting one. 1950s. Current close friend was a man. Yeah, it would change his sexes too. Yeah. What the other lifetime, Kelly? Did you get another one, man?
I did. It was during the Civil War. I got everybody's saying, yeah, I got a Civil War one. It was where I had to learn about a broken heart. I had to learn to continue on with broken heart.
Wow.
So a lot of people have.
Endurance. Good. Unconditional love. Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody said that she blacked out. Thank you for the regression. It was amazing. Self-love.
Discipline as a Puritan. Wow.
Yeah, that was my period too. Puritan. Yeah, that was it. That was the word.
I think a lot of us probably in this site here went through those religious lifetimes. A lot of you probably
Yeah.
be in the site, right?
Isn't that
Lori, I was
odd?
12 years old, 1800s. I died of an illness very young. Forgiveness.
Self-confidence, Diane Lentz says. Discipline as a Puritan.
I was when I was a little boy. I was probably 9 years old. I was on Saturday mornings. I used to doodle. I used to love it, cereal and doodle. And I remember I was doodling, and there was a man with a mustache, big mustache, and blue eyes, chin, and a hat, and it was a Civil War soldier, and it was myself.
And it was you.
Now that I look at my photos with the mustache, and I have it in my art collection. I still have that picture, and it's me in the Civil War. And I've always had some of the Civil War.
Me too. Wow, wow. Jennifer Ford says she was on the Titanic. She said, I learned gratefulness. Wow. Kim Kingsley said, no judgment.
No judgment.
Yeah. Oh, I like this. Janice Godwin said she was in South America as a healer. Wow. Ann Gonzalez, I like this one. Responsibility. I understand that one, Ann.
Wow. Spreading knowledge. I had a book, Tina says, shop in Russia in around 1960. Stood up for freedom of information. I was ultimately killed. Wow. Killed alone at night near my shop. Wow. Mine was a Puritan. Wow. 1400s, an island learned love. Jane. Wow.
Joan Walker, lost during childbirth. That has happened to
There's a lot of that.
A lot of that. Yeah.
Probably.
Mm.
And what about the future? Like, what we have to learn now? Did you get that, Kelly?
I did, and it was putting all of my lives together. That's what I got from that in this lifetime, to put them all together.
Anybody else? What did you guys get for the current life that will help you in your tomorrows? Which I never done that before. Thank you, Spirit.
That was amazing, James.
That was from them. That was from them. That was
well, and in every moment that you were saying, it was exactly where I was in the meditation.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? I just step to the side and let them speak through me.
Lisa Vandermeer said, I died standing up for myself.
Jamie Lynn says patience, but a lot of us patience. I've learned patience this lifetime, without a doubt.
Right.
Women getting off ship liner, handing out flyers. Wow. Suffragette, probably.
Katia Davis. Hi, Katia. She said, thank you so much. I found myself on a beach barefoot gathering food for my village, and I died of starvation alone with no one around.
Isn't that interesting? Wow.
Yeah.
Vietnam. I saw someone in Egypt and Vietnam. Yes. I saw myself on a beach as well. I don't know where it was. I think it was Fiji or something. Yeah, I was a native. Wow. I remember it. I had a cloth and I had things on my head. Like, I was one of the natives. I was brown skinned. I had stuff in my face, like scars, black hair, brown eyes, and I was learning to live in a community. I remember it was all communal love or communal respect. It was respect would be like.
Ooh. Paul Katz, he says, I'm coping with isolation in my current life, and the two lives I saw were isolated. The only people around me were against me. This is consistent with other regressions I've done. I've never felt much love. Very sad.
So maybe you're like this current that can open you up to currently now. Go out and trust people because you're locked in that way of being where you think that people are going to attack you or be against you. So now you got to find people out there who are not against you and flip that mindset out. Right.
Chris Brown says, do the lives have to go in order? I went from one previous to the last, then the last. I was in the 1400s. That's fine, right?
No, that's fine. No, I'm just suggesting to your soul. Your soul might want to show you this lifetime and that lifetime might move. You know, it's up to your soul's knowledge.
Right. Elise Girk says, one was the 1930s. I was a young boy who died leaving my brother and mom, both lifetimes as I was leaving core families without assistance.
Wow. I remember I was I had two lifetimes. I was a cowboy, but then I was also in a wagon, and we were killed by we called them savages, but they were American Indians, but we called them. I remember calling them we got to be careful of the savages. And I was a woman, colonial, I guess. I don't know what it was. Long skirt, and I was in the front of that. And I remember there was a medicine bag next to me, like a little black square medicine bag.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is Quinn, medicine woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Just curious, how did you know the years?
Well, how I knew the years just came to me.
It just popped in my head. I mean, that's how
Yeah.
it usually works. That's awareness that you just see, feel, you just know. There's a knowingness to it all.
Oh.
The most amazing thing is when people say, "Well, why can't I remember my past lives on a conscious level? Why would I come back and why can't I remember them right away?" We go through before we come back into the body as souls first enter the body when we're babies, which the soul can come into anywhere from 8 months. He gets used to the confinement, and the soul really is like to be confined in that density. So it'll stay in the 8th month. 9th month it stays more. It'll say, 7th month, 8th. It talks to the mother all the time. There's always communication.
It comes and goes. Yeah.
Right. And then it stays in 9th. Like can go out. It usually stays in after the 10th month. It'll stay completely. Yeah. And that comes in out of the crown chakra, which is the last place the baby, the soft spot, we call it. And what happens is during that time, right before we come back in, we go through what's called the Valley of Forgetfulness. And what it is that it's a clean slate that the soul goes through, like clean slate, because you want to start new and fresh. Like today.
Well, I want to tell you something really funny because for me, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm saying this suggestion, a clean slate. Tonight was your clean slate, so your tomorrow's can begin again. So, and the reason we don't do that, we don't know everything, it's because if you were so knowledgeable about a past life where you killed people, you'd be so upset about that and try to make that better or whatever that you wouldn't do the work in this current lifetime.
Right. I read this really interesting thing, and I don't know about you, James, but I've always had this weird feeling and a memory of before we were about ready to incarnate, right before that I had to drink this thing to forget. I always had this dream. Wow. Well, let me tell you what I found today on that, because I thought this was so fascinating, and I can't tell you how often I have seen that. So I found this thing that in mythology in China, there's a deity, and her name is Meng Po, Mengpo, and she was known as the Lady of Forgetfulness. And what would happen is, as you were ready to incarnate, she would give you this drink that would erase all memories. Now, that's from the Chinese culture, but I'm going to tell you, I know I have seen that. So then you have this clean slate.
Yeah. And as you're saying that, I just opened up. I think I was poisoned in lifetimes too. I know it. I was poisoned. I think I was given a little pistol, like a tiny little pistol was shot. We were all probably shot up. But I tasted that bitterness when you just said that, drinking that. I got a taste of something bitter. And I was poisoned several times. And it was because of the power position I was in. I think it was in powerful political, who knows. But
as a leader, as a great leader.
As a leader. I've always been lifetimes where there's been leadership in some way.
So, Drew, how many lives do you think we go through?
So that's a human question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not a soul question, because there's eternity. There is no end. There's always a life. Life is always living. So we can't put a finite number on it, because that's very human of us. It could be hundreds of thousands, if not millions. There are millions and millions of universes. Millions. So just wrap our head around that. Like, wow. Someone asked, where is the earth? And when you talk about the evolution of spiritual things, where is the earth? On the rung of spirituality, the ladder of spirituality. And the teachers have said, oh, we're probably in the lowest rungs because we still kill one another. We still hate one another. We don't love. So we're not there. We're still at the very bottom.
Julie Munsterman says, is it common to have a similar theme throughout multiple lives?
100%. Yeah. It happens a lot, whether it's confidence, responsibility, whether it's believing in yourself, forgiveness, whatever it might be, judgment. Yeah.
Right.
Yes, that's a good question, Joan Walker. Does a part of the soul remain on the other side with our soul group with each reincarnation? I think so, Joan. So I don't think it's Kelly, I don't know what your thoughts on this, but I think this is just a small piece of us.
Yes, I absolutely agree with that.
We're over there on the side, our higher self, and we see our other selves over there. And we wait for a soul group. A lot of them are here or elsewhere, and they come back together again. And before we reincarnate, wherever we're going to reincarnate together, we'll wait on this side. There's no time, but we'll reassess everything and decide what our next role is going to be. It's so much like a play, like in the middle of that, it's like a theater. It so much reminds me of a play. Which character are you playing in that role, that theater at that time? And what is the play? And, sometimes the character dies on stage, but then they go behind the scenes to be a stagehand,
Right.
It's so interesting.
Right.
You can impress people more. When Princess Diana died, she came to me. I was going to do a reading for her way before July. And she said that she was She said, I had to stay where I was because I was given a choice, she said. But she said, I knew I could help my boys. That's exactly how she said, I could help my boys better from the other side to influence their lives than, and he's staying here, which I think she's done, actually.
Right. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, Lynn Camp, can I visit past lives in a dream, or at least while I'm sleeping?
You can. You can ask it for that.
Okay.
That you can certainly do that. And here's also the Akashic records. Someone brought in here about the Akashic records. You also can do the Akashic records. Renee, there you go, Renee. Thank you, of course. The Akashic records, the records of the soul, if you like. And you can visit the Akashic records as Edgar Cayce used to do. You can do it in a light sleep or like we just did, and just imagine yourself in a hall of records. It's really what it's like. And see what to me I find interesting, and I think it's very valuable, is when you do a past life regression, past life, it should be one that really stirs up something in your soul in this lifetime. It's like there's very strong intention, like what am I getting out of this? I don't think it could just be pure curiosity. It could be like, what are the themes that I'm learning? What do I have to do in this lifetime that the past life will
That's
help?
what I appreciated in this reading that you did, or this regression, because you actually said, I give it a year. What are you wearing? And what's the theme?
What's a theme?
Because we choose a theme before we incarnate.
The souls you choose it.
Mhm.
Every soul chooses a theme, and and death is easy. Although it makes it getting up to that part when you leave the body is difficult. There's a lot of pain. There's a lot of illness, and it could be. It doesn't need to be. By the way, we don't need pain. We don't need to suffer. There's no reason to be suffering. No reason. Scientists have the spirit world have influenced or inspired scientists to develop these medicines to help with pain, whether it's used right or wrong. Fentanyl is one. Dilaudid. I remember I had Dilaudid. I remember my sister said to me, my sister Maura said to me, if you ever go in for any work, they put a tube down your nose because she had a gallbladder taken out. She said, you asked for something for it. And I had to do that when I did my near-death experience. They wanted to put a tube down my nose. I said, wait a minute, I need something for pain. And I had Dilaudid. It was great. I said, go for it.
Right.
I don't care. It's just a change in consciousness, isn't it?
Right. It just is. Absolutely. Wow. It's amazing. James, that was so great. I can't thank you enough for that.
Yeah.
That was really, really great.
It's great. And on Wednesday, I'm doing my global meditation. So that'll be great.
That's Wednesday. That's going to be
terrific.
terrific.
That'll be, I think this group of beings that are around me are also obviously for that as well. They really do clear the space and open up the space for us. They do walk with us. They really, really do walk with us.
They do. I
just heard this lady behind me, Belinda, I'll call her.
I love her.
She said that, that those men, she says, like those apostles, Jesus and the apostles, she goes, those were aspects, those 12 beings, or if they were really, they were just aspects of a soul. Each one had a different aspect of a soul. So she's not telling them if they were real or not, but she said they were aspects of a soul that this master tried to bring forth to people.
Wow.
I guess if you read the epistles or what they wrote, the gospels, that would be a message of certain virtue or whatever it might be.
Right.
Anyway, that's what she was going on here about.
Oh, how interesting, because, soon we have Easter and we have Passover coming up. And
I always say, yeah. It's a rebirth. It's a renewal.
It's a rebirth. It absolutely is. Wow.
You're very welcome, Tippy. You're very welcome, everybody. Very, very welcome. I'm going to do that cruise too, Kelly. We're going to do the past.
I was thinking about that. I cannot wait. That's going to be so fun. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yes,
do we have any places left on the cruise?
Yes, we have about 10 more spaces open. So
okay, great. Wow. Please join us if you can.
Yes.
That's going to be a great cruise.
Past life regression. Somebody get future lives, and you do that as well. There's no time. So you can also do future life and see where in this time.
Right. Wonderful. Oh my gosh. And so,
so mediumship. I should mention this. Those mediumship one, I'm doing a free webinar on mediumship one about mediumship. That's April 5th at 4:00. And that's, again, a free webinar for people who want to know about mediumship. And I'll be talking about all of it there. So that's for free. And please join me on April 5th. Thank you, Renee, for that. At 4:00 Pacific time. And you will leave a different person. I'll do some exercises on there. I'm merging with the spirit world and talking about mediumship.
And that's for people who have signed up for Mediumship 1.
No, it's for anyone.
Oh, no, it's for anybody. How great.
It's not just students, it's for everyone.
Oh, great.
Please sign up, and we're limitless, so there's no limited amount of people.
Yay. Great. All right. Well, listen, everybody, have a great week. And I'll see you Thursday on Ask Me Anything. I'll be doing that. And James, you'll have your Thursday afternoon, you think, possibly? This Thursday, you don't know.
I don't think so. I'm not this Thursday. I'm going to be traveling, so I'm not going to be able to do the plane. Not in a plane, in that plane. But I will be back Wednesday. The Global Meditation is next.
Okay, great. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Take care.
Renee.
You've been listening to Both Sides Now and Beyond, featuring spiritual medium and master teacher James Van Praagh and spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kelly White.
That was great. Maybe we changed some lives.
And maybe opened up some minds.
Which way do I turn?
Right. I mean left.